Alright, so now this is part 2 to the video. I didn't mean to... There's going to be a part 1 and part 2. This is part 2, okay? We'll upload part 1, and people hear me, I wanted to get the machine shut down, restart it. I'm proofing this on camera, this machine. So I explained to people why I stopped building the bikes is there was a lot of problems getting the parts, and like I said, Godzilla would call me up, get nasty, okay? Remember what I told you when I started this series of videos too with the small engine stuff? Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 carburetors till you get one that actually, like I did on this. That's the 4th carburetor that's on the goddamn thing. It's like summertime out here in February. So, Godzilla and I had a part, okay? I'm not going to have people, even like people when they bring a truck here and I got to do body work. Supplies, okay? I ordered body spreaders last year. I don't even think I told this story. And they were not body spreaders like you would think in the conventional sense that you can peel the stuff off. I usually clean my spreader. I take my my nitride glove and I dip the spreader in the reducer and I wipe it off. I mean, you can get maybe 10 uses out of a spreader. Depends on if you're going over rough metal and fiberglass. It tends to chink them a little bit and it leaves lines. These things were none of the such, okay? So the guy started throwing a fit that I was working on his truck. 'Cause I really didn't have that much work and it was really a simple job. But it turns simple things into a freaking nightmare. Okay, with, like I said, you can't get decent appliances. You know, white goods. You can't. You want to buy Mickey Mouse power equipment? Let's get on the subject. Okay, this stuff is world class. Okay, that thing really has a lot of snot. It started bogging down a little bit. I adjusted the governor. Now it's like that. It's right where it's got to be. So that's part of knowing what you're doing too. You might get one of those machines and you have half the knowledge, okay? You're a parts changer and you have initiative, okay? So learning the rest, converting yourself from a parts changer to an actual mechanic, okay? If the machine starts bogging out a little bit, it's 9 chances out of 10 the governor. Or you got it over full on oil. I had both problems. My son, I think I don't know if I explained that. There were like 4 quarts. I told him to put oil in the engine. Instead of doing what I taught him to do was check the stick as you're adding oil, he just dumped 1.5 in, assuming he must have looked something up on the internet somewhere. Let me put this down. So stuff like that can really get you in trouble because I'm like, what the hell is going on with this machine? It was dumping oil out the valve cover, and the valve cover was plugged because I did let some oil out and I got the oil level where I thought it should be, and right away when I put it back together, it did spit more oil, and then it stopped. So as I said, you want to buy this new stuff with plastic camshafts and plastic this and plastic that. I guarantee you, okay, you're going to spend $1,500 on a wood chipper. I think those were like $1,200 back in the day, this one, okay? The new ones are no better, and they're more expensive. They're coming with those, some of the ones with the Chinese engines, they're not too bad, and they got an actual metal camshaft and crank in them. And some of them, the one I didn't see it in person. I saw the pictures of it, and the guy was showing me that the crankshaft it had an 1.125" crank on it, and it was a real beefy looking crankshaft. And the only reason why he took the machine apart, he wanted to put an optional blade setup on the auger wheel. So they have some of the more advanced stuff that you're getting at these power places. Even though it is made in China, it's above. It's kind of like we used to do. You used to have your homeowner grade shit before everything turned to total shit. But you used to have like a homeowner grade, and then you used to have like a commercial. Well, this is like a commercial. I would say like an in-between. It's not quite the professional, and it's not quite the lower. So it had some optional blades and stuff, and he wanted to put these, what they call like a thrasher blade in it. That's for like bushes like I'm doing here. They're a little thin, they're thinner, they're sharper. So when you stick a bunch of that crap down in there, it's not gonna bog down like this machine will do. Because if I have to, I'll even set the governor up even higher, risking blowing it up. And where I'm going to find another HM80 like this one, I don't know. But that engine's like brand new inside. As I said, They must have got a reman motor somewhere. They got a block. Probably didn't come with anything. Probably my assumption is it was not a working assembled unit because they had the wrong head bolts in it. The head bolts were almost a half-inch longer than the head bolts, so there was no way in hell that that head that was on there that froze and cracked. There was no way in hell that was, if it ran. I'm saying it's possible it ran, but it didn't run right, and that's why they left it alone. Pushed it outside somewhere for a year or two, and whoever the older guy was that bought this thing that sold it to me, he actually admitted that. He said it didn't really run when he got it, and by the time he went to work on it and get it going, it was seized up. So that's what happens with this new Chinese stuff. You're going to pay $1,500 for it. I think some of these Chinese tractors now that are out under the Craftsman name, and the other one, they're up to $3,000, $3,500 to $4,000 for something with plastic garbage all over it. Please, this vintage stuff is gold. Now you're hearing pterodactyl. I want to reach out to pterodactyl. I reach out to some of the people that I actually look to. Sometimes that guy, I might have an answer for something, and you might see my answer. Don't be afraid to go on another channel and listen to what the man has to say. I'm not biased to who I listen to. Do I have a preference who I listen to? Well, yeah, we all have that. We all have that sort of bias. But me thinking that Terrell knows everything, or I have a couple different ways of doing things than Terrell does. Okay? The other expectation when you drag something vintage like that home, I had a fool with the tire went flat. Okay? Don't think you're going to have it running in a weekend's time. Sometimes that's not possible, especially since everything and every part comes from the inner screen. You're really going to have to sit back and one of the other things that I hate, like what's going on with my son's truck. Okay, we found another problem. Then we had to wait for the parts. Wrong farts, broken parts, missing parts, bad parts, chicken farts, stinky chicken farts. That's what's going on. So if you order parts for that machine, okay, I hate when the shit sets apart. Be very anal, get like a 5-gallon bucket and put every goddamn part in there. Don't put something stray. I set there's a deflector shield that goes in there where these pins are. Right here. There's a shield in there, and I couldn't find the damn thing. I don't know if that thing's on camera. Like I said, I can't wait to get another camera, a different camera set up. But these pins right here, there was a shield in there. Here I set the goddamn thing aside, and I'm done with it, and I want to fire it up. I mean, I did play with it without the deflector shield in there, but that helps break the stuff up a little finer, that you're not throwing real big chunks. It helps kind of grind it up a little bit better. But I lost it, okay? It's an idiot thing to do, but it's easy, especially when it took me, I would have had that thing together maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and I made the videos like when I had time, and when like I said, this leg, this condition I have is really on my ass, and it's hurting me. I would have had it together a lot sooner. Okay? Taking your time with a job, let me explain. Taking your time is one thing, but when you're getting delayed by bad parts, missing parts, broken parts, bad parts, or you're on the phone for hours with idiots that don't know what the hell you're even talking about. Oh, I need an arbor shaft washer, okay? I need the PTO arbor shaft washer. They don't. I called Jax, and Jax didn't even know what the hell a fucking PTO space. It's the spacer washer that goes between the fucking PTO and the shaft. I know you're not supposed to lose them, but what happens when you drag these derelict tractors like I do, and they're missing 3/4 of the shit to begin with? They found them in an abandoned house, and they put it on Craigslist, and a guy like me goes and throws $50 at it. They don't realize I might, when this was becoming suitable to do and profitable to do it, I was making money doing it. But when half the stuff is missing, it's a problem. So keep your stuff all together and contemplate that you're going to have these issues of talking to stupid people, getting bad parts, getting brand new broken parts. Maybe the part's not available. A lot of these websites, eBay was doing it for the longest time. You'd order something, and Amazon, and they don't take your money out of the bank. You don't realize that the part's not coming, especially if you're working or you have like me, you're out doing stuff, and then you go back and they never sent it because the part's not available. Well, what do you think that phone call's like, especially if it's for a customer? How do you think that phone call goes? And that goes back to Godzilla. Okay, They think you have all these things. I could have 3 carburetors. I could have 4 coils. And 2 or 3 out of those could be bad. They could all be bad. I was getting bad magnetos. I ordered 5. I think that was Bikeberry. They had a deal on magnetos. I think they were like $10 or $11 a piece for these HER, the higher output magneto. I ordered them and they were all bad. And they were arguing with me about giving me my money back. And I recollect, that was the incident when I stopped dealing with Bikeberry, because they never did refund me. They told me I don't know how to test them and I don't know what I'm doing. And then I sent something else back and they said they tested it and it was good. Well, you're not going to tell somebody that's got 5 modified championships and actually builds trucks and vehicles. You're not going to be a little girl telling me, oh, you tested it and it's good. It ain't going to fly with me, and that's why I stopped dealing totally with Bikeberry. I dealt more with Bicycle Motor Works with Matt down there in Bethlehem. I preferred him, even though he thought I said naughty things about him, and I never did. That was the other thing. It was the maturity level of some of the people. They were handicapped. I even have a personality deficit. Former flight wing commander, I told you, I'm not the gentlest guy that you're going to talk to. But those were the things that were going on. There was little personality things, or they didn't like the way you approached them, or, everybody was looking for a deal back in the day. It was kind of times like this when Obama was in office. Okay, you just got to work a little harder at times. But right now there is nothing. Nobody is spending an extra dime, let alone on motorized bicycles. So that concludes my video, and hopefully sometimes people enjoy my colorful humor, the way I look at things. State police again. I don't know what the hell's going on. Constantly state police overhead in the medevac. Yeah, he's going southeast. So actually, no, he's going due south. Southeast is that way. But anyway, that's actually northeast, and then southwest over there. This is kind of this is the top of a mountain, and actually from the sun angle I can actually tell where I'm at, versus if you put me somewhere else on Earth I probably wouldn't be able to. Alright, I'm going to conclude that. So that's the way that goes, okay? I stopped doing a lot of things because it just became not profitable, or putting up with the aggravation that was involved in it was not necessarily worth it, okay? Or possibly getting assaulted, or like I had somebody try to maneuver me to do I got out of roofing. Because you'd get something apart, or you tell them you need this. No, just do that. And the next thing you know, they're suing you in court. And the courts are that butt fucking corrupt here in Pennsylvania. You can't explain to the judge, look, the people are getting older. They're beyond being able to afford and own a home at times. Okay, and I'm just saying the repairs. I mean, I think they should make concessions with people with bills, utilities, and all that other shit. Okay, that stuff could be handled. But as far as people being able to hire a contractor, and you need half a dozen other things done, or the guy asks you to come, like I said, I'm going to people's houses. They got brand new cars in the driveway. The kids got brand new cars, a motorhome, and they want me to go out and put a patch on the roof, and then they want to know what the guarantee of the patch is. Shit gets old. Okay, if you can't set the parameters that the courts that don't understand it, you've never really been in your courtroom, you've never really been sued before, but they find against you, you know something's goddamn corrupt. Okay, that court, okay, should have never taken the person's money. Okay, especially when the contractor's there explaining that you told the person, here's the signed contract, they needed this, that, and the other thing, and the court finds against you. That is the problem here in Pennsylvania. It is so corrupt. But that's a Democrat-run shithole. And that's what makes it bad for businesses and small businesses, and especially a business that could make a mistake. If you're a young guy and you open up, put your shingle on your truck, and you got your name on your truck, and newbies are prone to making mistakes. There are some aesthetics, okay? It goes back to this power equipment. The old school is still the better school, okay? This corruption and rape of people for equipment and commodities and goods, it's got to stop. At some point, you got to start calling. I call my congressman and my state representative, Dane Watrow, Matt Cartwright, and the other one, David Argel. They don't want to hear me. They don't even want to talk to me. I get some kid on the phone or some idiot. Yeah, well, the senator's busy. Oh, but you want me to vote for you in November. You know what? Fuck you. I'll write my own name on a goddamn ballot. Maybe somebody will vote for me, and at least if you call me, I'll answer the phone. Okay? I'm not a piece of shit. I'm not going to slither down a sewer pipe as a politician. I was never like that. So hopefully you like part 2 and you like my colorful commentary, okay? That's it.